I'm quite certain some of you tuning into my daily podcast may just be wondering why I, your ever-flexible, most fluid, and incredibly humble messenger, is so obsessed with picking on and exposing the state's 501c3 tax-exempt churches. I mean, come on, Dave. Okay, they may not be the best at teaching true biblical doctrines, but most are good and well-meaning people, and you have to admit, most congregations do try and do the Lord's work through charity, giving, and other stuff. Nope, I don't have to admit anything. The old saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So your arguments are meaningless. Then there are the vast majority of Americans, way more than people who attend the state 501c3s, who foolishly and incredibly loudly claim, I don't do religion. You wouldn't catch me ever going to church. Well, is that so? Is that even a true statement? Or is it another trick of Team Evil? Another illusion that operates on the minds of Joe Sixpack and his kind? Pay attention, people. I'm going to expose another big lie deception, and I'm just getting started. On Tuesday, the 10th of January, 2023. I'm willing to bet that if I were to stand somewhere downtown of a larger city, let's use Minot, North Dakota, the tragic city, and randomly ask 10 passerbys, can you please tell me where the nearest church is? Of those who answered, without exception, I would get directions to a brick-and-mortar building, directions to the nearest state 501c3, and furthermore, with certainty, not one would point to a movie theater, a TV radio station, a sports arena, or to their smartphone and say, right here, buddy, it's called Netflix, YouTube Free Movies, Peacock, or Tubi. Not one. And herein lies the devil's in the details deception. The state 501c3, yep, they dumb you down and teach fiction for a fact, but the state churches are losing membership. The real churches are gaining congregants by the day. TV, movies, sports, commercials indoctrinate, illuminate the minds of people. Yes, when you go to a movie, you are going to church. When you turn on a television, whether it's movies or sporting events or the news, whether you know it or not, you're getting a serious dose of religion. And the fact most don't see this, most are unaware of the deception being played upon them, is exactly the goals of the content creators. I just did a search in my internet provider, Midco, Midcontinent, who also offers cable, which I do not have. And I checked out Dish TV. There are a lot. There is a shitload of sports packages. Just ESPN 1, 2, and 3 would make it very possible for someone to watch sports 24/7, holidays included. And what do sports fans talk about? Well, obviously, sports. What don't they talk about? Everything else that's meaningful. Their minds are preoccupied. An amusement that overoccupies their minds. They become obsessed and distracted, creating a very fertile ground for Team Evil to control their minds with, you got it, religion. How ironic to hear a sports fan or a movie junkie claim, I don't do religion. And yes, let's toss in TV news junkies, like people who watch NBC Nightly News. Come on, Tim, I'm not picking on you again. Just my humble opinion, and what other kind of opinion could a humble messenger have? But if your goal in life is to become a bottom feeder with a room temp -7 IQ, sports, movies, and mainstream news watching are 3 of the quickest ways I know to bottom feeder stardom. Don't doubt me on this, people. I was pressed for time yesterday. Fell in a rabbit hole, don't you know? And while I couldn't cover everything I wanted, I did get out, release the Kraken. Now, let's do, from movies and a science documentary, Hail Hydra. You guys ever heard of this? Have you ever seen anything like this? Wish you could see what I see, but you're going to have to listen. Here we go. Oh, I got to turn the volume up. Hang on a second.
Hail Hydra. Hail Hydra! Hail Hydra! Hail Hydra!
Everything that lives must one day die, right? Well, maybe not everything. Consider the Hydra. It's named after a many-headed monster from Greek mythology. Chop off one head and two grow in its place. That myth isn't too far from the real Hydra's death-defying abilities. They're cousins to jellyfish. See the resemblance? But Hydra live in freshwater. Its body is a hollow column with walls only 2 cells thick. Its head is just a bunch of tentacles surrounding a mouth, no eyes or brain. The whole thing is about as long as a grain of rice. The hungry Hydra stretches out its tentacles to snag swimming prey. Microscopic harpoons hook the water flea, injecting it with paralyzing neurotoxins. Then, it's down the hatch. The Hydra uses those nutrients to make more Hydra. Check out this bud. It's a clone sprouting right from the Hydra's side. Hydra can reproduce sexually too, but most often they just clone themselves.
Okay, that's enough of looking at this disgusting-looking waterborne critter. People, I've seen enough examples on GulfAlphaBravo.com of the doctors, the pathologists, and the funeral home directors pull some pretty large quote-unquote blood clots from patients who just happen to die suddenly. I said blood clots in quotes because the professionals dealing with them, showing their handiwork, the pictures, haven't seen anything like it. And they sure look to me like the self-replicating hydras I just watched and you were forced just to listen to. Good God, man. Dave, are you saying? Yes, I am. I just can't give the details on this platform, don't you know? Maybe it should be Hail Hydra. Time to release the Krakens, because both live in water. And what is hemoglobin, people? 75% salt water. And finally, for any who are interested, I'm throwing in a bonus for you. I'm leaving a link to the 10-year-old Ultimate Conspiracy Theory animated classic. Yep, Heliopants, I Pet Goat 2. There are the wheat and the tares. There are the goats and the sheep. It's a 7.5-minute video. It has everything. The Twin Towers, Notre Dame's collapsing spire, black and white checkerboard, Masonic flooring, the old whore of Babylon, and another, Jesus. All of it concealed in plain view. And if you get stuck, there are a good number of YouTube videos that will help you decode to see the big picture. The picture of religion, a religion based on symbols. Well, anyway, I've run long enough here. Another short video because I got stuff to do.